All stages of the game are equally important, whether opening, middle game, or end game. Okay? You can start with the basic checkmates. You can start with the ending, as Capablanca recommended. There's nothing wrong with that, but just bear in mind, my chess friends, especially those of you at the beginning of their chess career, that all stages of the game are equally important. Opening, middle game, there's no doubt about it. So we're going to look at a middle game idea, a middle game concept, the backward pawn, which is a tricky weakness here because your opponent, if they have the backward pawn, first thing first, you need to identify the backward pawn, which is a pawn that cannot be defended by another pawn, and they will have to use pieces to keep that guy alive. So in our position here, black backwards pawn is the d6 pawn here, which has no other pawn on the adjacent files to support them. So they need to keep the bishop to protect the pawn in our position from the rook, which attacks it. And queen had been played already, which traditionally not a bad idea, of course, but you're actually going to be piling up the pressure on this d6 pawn here with a move natural like bishop a3. What does bishop a3 do? It attacks twice here. And there is no reasonable move for black that defends that pawn again. There's nothing that they could possibly do. If you inquire now and say, yeah, but can't I just play queen a6? You practically, even if you do it, there will be, let's say, knight takes to e5. Okay, and when they take back, here you already have a bishop that just grabs this guy, attacks the rook with tempo. Then there is pressure also on this guy here. I know there is a knight, but just say there is enormous attacking here, and everything crumbles for black. So there is no good defense here for black. Again, neither this one works. You're still going to take. They take. You're going to take this guy here. They move the rook. You're going to take here. It's just a mess, and your opponent will lose the game, medium long term. Right, so bishop e6 again. That just doesn't mean anything. You are going to take that backward weak pawn, and whatever they play, the position is one for white here. So provided you're not blundering more than your opponent, you should be able to win this position here, guys. Oh, wait a second, it just goes a bit too fast here. Right, so last move, b6 took on c5. And now you may question, you may inquire, what exactly am I going to capture with? Do I take with the rook? What do I take with the pawn? Is there any difference in between the two? So it's important to understand this one, my chess friends, because if you take with the pawn, let's just put it this way. If you capture with the pawn here, although not the end of the world, but you're actually making them a favor because you give them the chance to be pushing down this guy at some point in the future, revealing the bishop's diagonal. So you're helping your opponent to activate their pieces. Plus, you're going to have to keep the rook always defending your own pawn by the queen's attack or various other pieces that might be piling up attacking that pawn. So that's not a big deal. Whereas if you take with the rook, that means something. When you take with the rook on c5 here, first thing first, the bishop is still blocked. That bishop is a bigger pawn, so to speak. You're not helping them. You are fixing a weakness, namely the backward black pawn on c6, to which you'll be adding more and more attackers. So that's how exactly you spot a weakness in our current theme now, the backward pawn. You're going to adding more attackers. You're going to take that pawn, and you're going to go on to win the game. So c6 now already being attacked twice by the queen and by the rook. There is double attack here. We just look at something like bishop d7, and probably you've seen it. That's not going to save them. The situation, it gets more and more and more complicated. As soon as you, for black that is, as soon as you get the rook on the 7th rank, pinning the bishop to the queen, not mentioning that actually, so when you play something like bishop f5, just give an example. If you're given a chance to play bishop f5, really, it's looking incredibly difficult for them. a7 is also hanging, so you could take that guy at any moment, thus creating a passer. So white should be winning this position, guys. Let's look at the next scenario here. What is going to happen? For instance, you may wonder, what's going on when I myself have a backward pawn? If you have a chance, as soon as you spot there is a weakness here, which on long term would be targeted by your opponent, try to push that pawn if possible and trade it exchange the pawn at the earliest opportunity, because if you don't, you're going to stay with your pieces defending that guy. Again, long term, when files are getting opened and stuff, that guy is going to be your perennial weakness. So strike in the center, make the challenge here, force them to take, you just take back and no more weakness, okay? So remember, your opponent has a backward pawn. Try to pile up attackers, get that guy, you're going to win. If you do have a backward pawn yourself, try to push it if possible. Again, I'm not saying to just blunder for the sake or to just give pieces for nothing. No. But I'm just saying if it is safe, like in our scenario here, push it and get rid of the weakness. So let's see. Let's do a couple of more exercises together. I'm starting to like it now. All right, so there is a white pawn that took here the black pawn on c4. Okay, do I take with the rook or do I take with the pawn? I think you already got the answer, guys. We take with the rook. Why? Because you're attacking c3, the weak white backward pawn, and then you're going to be adding another rook maybe to keep pressurizing the c3. You know, it just doesn't matter what they do. They play, I mean, it could be many things that might be playing here, but nevertheless, you're just going to pile up more and more and more, or maybe perhaps in this fashion and in this fashion. So you're going to be able to take the c3 on my chess friends. This one here now, where is the backward pawn? Well, probably you've seen it. Pause the video, contemplate the position. Again, I recommend you guys don't play bullet or blitzes. Just go for rapid games, 15 plus 10 seconds. Okay, now if you're commuting like I do during the week myself, and if you jump from tube to train and stuff like that, okay, you may just go with a quick bullet or blitz. But don't get too despondent if you get a intermittent internet signal and then you're losing the game. Otherwise, if you're at home, relaxed, on your couch and stuff like that, just play rapids. So in this position here now, we got like what, 3 pieces to take with. I think there is only one correct move here to play, my friends. You could either take with this, you could take with the queen, or you could take with a pawn. Now, if you remember, we discussed about the backward pawn, you will understand that it's important to take with the c pawn, and for other reasons too, not just rook c1 targeting c7, which is the backward pawn, by the way. But there is another reason. You also, again, keep the bishop on e6 a little bit blocked here, fixed behind its own pawn. So that bishop is not that efficient. Of course, they might be finding ways to play, but first thing first, you pile up on c7 with your rook, and you're going to bring more and more attackers over to this guy, which black will have to defend with their pieces. Okay, so that's how it goes. Next one here. Well, they don't have a backward pawn, but in this scenario, I do have one. So you guys probably remember, what do? There is an e6 weakness there. We can't tolerate having that guy. We're going to have to keep our pieces consistently looking after this guy. So what do? Push that guy. Is it safe? Yes, it is. You push it here. You've got 1, 2, 3. You got 3 defenders for that guy. You better do it now because you might not have the opportunity. So you see, guys, in chess, like probably in life, when you have an opportunity, try to take advantage because you may not have another option in the future. So let's look here. What's the backward pawn? There you go. It's the d6. How exactly are we going to targeting that guy? So let's see. Well, we got a rook, we got a bishop here. Which one actually works better? This one here, oopsie. This one here also looks very interesting. This one looks very interesting as well. So shall I go with this one? It's not quite the most accurate, so we can play this one, but not it's not the most accurate. They might be able to defend actually with bishop. So let's try with the rook here. Rook to d1 definitely piles up here. And even if they play this, now we're going to be bringing the third attacker. So they will have 2 defenders. We're going to have 3 attackers on this guy here, right? And if they play this, I reckon we should just be pushing the pawn, right? Can we do that? Of course we can. And after we do this, they will definitely losing. And moreover, it's very important because once this guy is being taken, we also be attacking double the bishop. So it's important, your rooks. And also, oh, by the way, blind me, apologies, guys. The bishop was actually also attacking here, but the rook was on b1, right? Okay, so that's absolutely safe. Yeah, It's safe and it's cool and it's very efficient. Yeah, so it doesn't matter. Now, let's bring the third attacker, and that makes a lot of sense. Triple attack can't be stopped, can it? Right, what have we got here? Ooh, we do have a backward pawn. That's the d6. That's a weakness. We can't have that. Let's push this guy up here. Right, now I know they attack it 4 times, but the queen, probably you notice, guys, the queen is on the same file with my black rook on d8. So even if they have 2 pieces here ready to take, actually the queen is very badly positioned, and now if they want to move to c1, we're going to perform a fork, that is. So there is no way for them to be playing here. So I'm just giving you a flavor. So let's say they just take. We want to take with the knight. I don't know, I'm just threatening to open up and hit the queen. Okay, they take here, we're going to take back. For instance, we're going to take with the rook. Queen must move away. When the queen moves away, let's say we either double up here, or we just simply take, and that's great. 4-2-6, 3-3-6. It's an advantage. It's an advantageous position for black. Again, it doesn't mean in this kind of position it is guaranteed now because you've removed your weakness. Now, suddenly now you are going to necessarily win. No, but once you get an advantage, and if you play correctly, you should be able to capitalize on it down the road, my chess friends. So thanks for watching this short video, people. Subscribe to my channel, join my live streams, and I hope I'll be able to make another live stream maybe this evening, which is a Saturday, 23rd of March, 2024. Or maybe tomorrow afternoon. Streaming nowadays has become a luxury for myself due to time and other assignments. So guys, give me your support, subscribe to this channel, people, and see you soon. Thank you.